Hey there, Seb by the Realtor here. Are you thinking about buying or selling a home in California that's anywhere near a tree? Then if so, you're definitely going to want to learn about the new California Wildfire Disclosure Report. So stay tuned and watch this video. Well, I was in my office meeting yesterday, or actually I was on my Peloton working out, watching my office meeting on my iPad, and they were talking about how there's a new line on the California Residential Purchase Agreement about this Fortress Wildfire Report. It's actually baked in now to every purchase agreement if there should be one of these reports obtained and who should pay for it, the buyer or the seller. So I thought that was very interesting, that there was a very robust discussion about that. And my feeling is that if you are in a area where wildfire is a concern, and let's be real, in almost every part of, the Bay Area, Santa Clara County, San Mateo County, Santa Cruz County, even Monterey County, anywhere really where there's any kind of like trees, which I think is pretty much everywhere in the Bay Area, except for like the very urban, dense parts of the Bay Area where there really aren't that many trees. People are going to be concerned with wildfires, and that is why the California Association of Realtors has now put that into their contract, this Fortress Wildfire Disclosure Report, and who is going to pay for it, buyer or seller or neither. And in my office meeting, they were saying, well, gee, what do you do if the buyer all of a sudden orders this wildfire disclosure report and they find something alarming in that report and they want you, the seller, to pay for it? Well, I have a good answer for that. I just think that, hey, you're a seller, you're a smart seller, you are going to get a home inspection, of course, right? And a termite inspection, of course. And, maybe if you have a septic system, you would definitely get that inspected, and maybe your well would be inspected, or maybe you get a roof inspection, right? There's all kinds of things which you might want to pay for so that you can make a complete and full disclosure to the buyer before they make an offer on your property, so that you are having an as-is sale. My feeling is that you, as a seller, would definitely want to pay to have this report done, which I believe costs around, was it $125, $129? Yet one more fee to pay as you go selling your house. But I think that as this could quite likely end up being a possible deal breaker in some cases on the purchase of a house, which I always say, one of the most expensive things that could happen to you when you're selling your house is to have it fall out of contract. You really want to minimize the risk of falling out of contract. So you want to have all information available to a buyer that the buyer might otherwise find all on their own. And it seems like this wildfire disclosure report, which is obtainable by the click of a button, it's very possible the buyer would get one of these. So why don't you, as a seller, prophylactically, did I say that right? have that report done ahead of time. So I'm going to show you this report right here now. This is a sample report which I pulled off the internet. So take a look at it here. And the thing is that this is not a replacement for an actual defensible space report. So now, if you are selling your home in a high wildfire area, or a very high wildfire area, or a state responsible area that's not high or very high but is in a wildland fire area, you need to get what is called a defensible space report. And the best way to find out if in fact you really need to have this report done is to call your local fire department, and they will confirm if you do need to have that done and which agency would be doing the report. And again, if you are selling a house that is anywhere near a tree, then you are probably most likely going to need to have this report done. And that does involve having an actual fire inspector come inspect your home and tell you, oh, you're going to need to have these trees cut back, and this grass cut back, and you can't have mulch anymore. I mean, they actually have like a fairly long list of stuff that they look at when they are evaluating your house in person. So this Fortress Wildfire Report, it is not that. It is not a substitute for that. This is in addition to that. So this is even if you don't require that defensible space inspection report done by a fire person. you can still have this report done, and it will tell you, hey, these are areas of concern for the wildfire resistance capacity for the property that you are buying. And interestingly enough, the report also does give you cost estimates of how much it thinks it will cost you to improve the fire hardening, as it were, of that property. So if you are a seller and you don't have one of these reports, and the buyer does get one of these reports and says, oh, look at this, the report tells me that I might have to spend 10 grand cutting back the landscaping in order to meet those fire safety standard, just don't be surprised, which is why I suggest that if you are a seller in these areas, that you get that report done ahead of time and put that into the disclosure package so that you're not caught unaware by a buyer doing this and hitting you up to pay for that. I want to have all information about the property known ahead of time before you begin negotiating with the buyer. So there's one more hoop to jump through if you are a seller of property, and if you are a buyer of property and the seller has not done that report, I do suggest that you spend the money, you get that report done, and if it does indicate that you do need some work to improve the fire hardening capacity of your house that you're going to buy, why, that is a great negotiation tool to get yourself a pretty healthy credit from the seller. All right, well, that is all I have for this video. I do hope you have enjoyed watching it. And if you have enjoyed watching, I'm guessing that you may also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do take a look. All right, thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And please, stay tuned.